Greetings, it is your favorite big head teacher, Kadeem Slocum, here, giving a little, I don't want to call it expertise, but a little knowledge on Kahoot and Quiziz. So, of course, I've been asked, because I guess somebody thinks I know what I'm talking about. We're going to have some fun. So, we're going to look at the game platform known as Kahoot and Quiziz. So, right now, what we're going to do, I'm going to share my screen. Now, if you're watching this, you're probably, or you're present at the little workshop, you're probably logged on to Nearpod at the moment, and you have already looked and started having knowledge of what Kahoot is. But basically, Kahoot is a game platform. It's one of our learning platforms we use to help reinforce certain topics, certain yada yadas that you may have went over in class. It's to gamify, I learned a big word, your lessons. Or it's also to reinforce or to review. I like to use it for review, or it can be for just plain old fun. So I'm going to show you the inner workings of it. Well, first off, you're going to log in and create an account. It'll be ideal to log in with your Genesis email if you are in possession of one. So I'm going to log into my account here. And you see, this means a member of Genesis Innovation Academy. It's asking me to update my subscription. Boy, we're just gonna go free here because I ain't got no money. So I believe once you all are able to create your account, it's gonna ask you what school you're a member of. It's gonna ask you to be your teacher, student, etc. But so some of the things on Kahoot, you see this feature here. Now, if you go to things like Discover, you can look up games of any topics that you may want to incorporate in your class. So let's look up, let's look up Civil War. And you see, it was updated a little bit. You see, if we're click into one that says maybe Civil War review, correct? You see it has a list of questions in the quiz in which you can assign. Now, here's one of the cooler things about it, or one of the better things I actually like about it. You can go in and see the answer to the question beforehand, so you're not actually caught off guard, because there's been some times where I've been caught off guard by some of the answers. I'm like, what? That's the answer? Really? Can't be. And students are telling me, yes, it is. Now let's get to one we can edit. Not sure if I can edit this one. You cannot edit due to creator setting. Okay, so whoever created this one said, hey, I'm right, you're wrong. You may not edit my work. Meaning. So let's go to one we can edit. We may have to go to one that's further down. Okay, so now, if you want to do some of these Kahoots, as you see, are private. This one is public, so we're able to edit this one. So now, if you were to say, hey, I like all these questions, but it's too many. Like, I want to do one with, this says 20 questions, I want 15. Let's go edit one of these. Now, in order to edit, you have to duplicate. So, meaning that you, instead of making their work yours or changing their work, because once you make your own Kahoot, which I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute, it's published on the site. So you want to duplicate. So you're going to click duplicate. And so from there, let's say if I wanted to change this question, I'll check out between. Say if I wanted to change this to mirror on the wall, who's the flyest of them all? So I want to do that one. Mirror, mirror on the wall, of course. My spelling together. Who's the flyest of them all? Answer. Answer. Slocum. Kadeem Slocum. Kevin and Jill's oldest child. Kadeem Jamal. Man, I wonder what the answer to this question is. So we can leave this as Kadeem Slocum's the flyest of them all, even though all of these would be correct. It's the all of the above question. So you see, you can change answers to questions, and you can, once you duplicate and edit, you can change answers, or you can incorporate your own answers, or you can take away questions you do not want to assign. Sounds fun to me. Okay, now let me show you how. Once you're ready to play, because it's going to bring you to the screen where it's going to ask play and edit. Once you're ready to play, you can go play. Now it's going to ask you to teach or assign. Now, teach is for when you're in the class and you're doing an activity in class. So if I'm going to do one in the class, I'm going to go here. Your students will have to log on to this website here. Most of our Genesis fellows, this is back when we was going to turn this down. Most of our Genesis students, not these fellows, of course, I teach fellows, so that's I said, but most of our Genesis students are familiar with Kahoot. So they're going to go to the website, as seen here, or you can make a link for them, and they will type in the game pin. Once that game pin pops up, their name is gonna pop up, whatever name they logged in under. Of course, we're gonna play one, of course, if we have not already, we're gonna play one. So you'll see that. But also, you can use it as assignment in times past, especially during virtual time. During the virtual time, I've used Kahoot as an assignment of, okay, do this as a review and we'll see it. And I'll actually grade it, maybe a little homework or review grade, depending on what the dealio was. So I'm gonna just go back to one, and I'm gonna show you. This is one I made times past. I'm gonna show you how to do one as an assignment. So you would set when you want this due. So you would set, say if I wanted them to give this to me today, I'm recording this on Sunday, so today is Sunday. So say if I wanted to do by next Sunday at this time, the questions will lock at that point. So of course, as you can imagine, nobody would be able to do that assignment after this point. So if you want to take the time off the questions, these questions use the time. If you edit it, you can set your own time. If not, it'll be given the time a person made it, etc. And create from there. And it should give you something that looks like this. Now, when you do assign, when you're assigning as actual work on assignment, it gives you a link you can give to the students, copy, say if you want to put in a message, or say you want to email it to parents, you give them a copy, or they can join with the website and the game pin as well. So again, let's review. When you're doing one in class or you want it done now as a collaborative, you're going to do it as teach. So you can display it and they will see the answer choices. And then if you want to do one as assignment, you would display it. You would click, then you would give the link or the game pin. Whichever one works for you. And they would finish at their own pace. When you're doing the teach one, they're finishing at your pace. All right, that's Kahoot. Of course, we're gonna do it as an example, but that is some of the basics of Kahoot. Let's move on to Quiziz. Now, admittedly, I developed a preference for quizzes other than Kahoot for the reason I'm going to show you in a minute. Now, I've used both. My preference now lies with quizzes. Let me actually log out so I could show you how to get in from the beginning. So, if you haven't created one, if you're going to create yours, you'll go to here. You can use your Google email, of course. Of course, mine is just going to go from sign in, etc. But you'll create, then you can choose your school just like you do a Kahoot. Now, one thing I like about Quizzes is the features that it has and how it can be incorporated in multiple ways. Watch this. All right, so if I want to go look, if I wanted to go and search for civil rights, I get civil water, civil rights, civil rights. All right, now, if I click on the civil rights, same with this. Now, quizzes can be a little tricky when it comes to, some of these have that super on it. That means it's looking for upgrade, looking for payment. You don't use these. Now, you can, with this, you can go to classic, lets them work at their own pace. That's why I like quizzes a little more than Kahoot. Kahoot is teacher-led unless it's given as an assignment. Quizzes can be worked at their own pace and can be worked as a competition. So if I were to choose civil rights, if I were to do one in class and I say, hey, I want to start one with you guys just working on it and I get the results afterwards, it would send you to this, and then it will begin the quiz, and on the quiz, it will give a leaderboard. And you can see who's answering the questions right, how accurate they've answered them, etc. Maybe able to show you one example of that as well. Now, if you want to do it as, hey, let's do one as a lesson. Like I want to go over answer by answer, you would click instructor paste. Instructor being you, of course. You would click instructor paste, and you would be able to control the answer, not the answers, but the pace that the class goes at. So that if I say, okay, let's go on and answer this, you would see your scholars answer the question, and then they'd be able to discuss amongst themselves in real time without it being, hey, what you get for this number, what you get for that one. Also, oftentimes, the questions are shuffled. So many times, some of the questions, some students have the same question, but on different numbers. So a question that is number 2 for one student can be number 7 for the other one. In this instance, it would all be the same. So you all can go as a class and answer these questions together. Now, one of the things, and I'll probably be able to show this in my real-time example, you can also assign for homework, similar to what we did for Kahoot. I use quizzes a whole lot, especially in the virtual year. You can assign homework. It gives a deadline. It can give participant limit amount. So at times, scholars will just rush through them. But if you told them, hey, you're going to do this one time, then they would take it more serious. So, but other times, if it was just for a review, I would just give them unlimited time so they can review and make sure they understand what they are doing. Now, trying to see, there was a part where I know it read the question aloud to them. I want to see if that is on here. I can show you in a video. If not, I'll be able to show you during the activity that we do, hopefully. But that would go to that, and you would assign one and it would pop like this. And just as similar to Kahoot, you can maneuver it to where you see the students who answered, you can see their accuracy level, you can see how many times they attempted, and you can, after that's done, you can actually download a report and see that from that report. Now, let me show you how to edit on here. Let's go to my library. Let's go to one that I've edited on before. Okay, so if you wanted to edit one, similar to Kahoot, but it's a little more biased this one, you would edit the question. You edit the question, of course, you can change the answers, change the format of the answers. Another thing I like about it, you change the format of the answers too. If you want to include an audio part in it, you could, video, image, etc. You can also, let me see, you want to change the time. Let me add a question so I can show you all how to change the format. Now, if you want this question to be like a fill in the blank one, here's here. Sometimes they have open-ended questions where the student has to type the answer. That's there as well. Multiple choice questions being the most common, or checkbox questions. Checkbox questions are usually ones that have multiple answers to them. So that is that. Now, of course, those who are on this training in real time will be using Nearpod to answer questions. Nearpod was one of my favorite presentation platforms because it had multiple features, and I actually don't have probably enough time to show you all everything. So we'll get to doing that in real time in person. But yes, let's review. Quizzes and Kahoot are two basically gamifying sites that can be used to help your scholars review, to give them another form of lesson, because the sounds and the visual while playing a game has helped my scholars a lot. Many of them whom may have not been as attentive or as attentive during the lesson were able to still grasp concepts because of my use of these platforms. So hopefully we can get more in depth into them, and hopefully my video helped a little. Thank you. I am the big head teacher, Mr. Slocum.